the amount that's used to.
We're taking a question
Whatever
about
the
the
mix
quality
is.
of our roads.
Yeah.
So can there be a law to actually qualify, improve the amount of concrete and whatever else is needed, so the roads last more than 5 years?
Yeah, this was a hot topic the other night at our city council meeting. As some of you may or may not know, that the city council we're in our budget process right now, and we've proposed adding a one-time 1 mil increase for our residents to fix the roads. And so this issue did come up by a lot of residents. I am no expert on how roads are built. Our city manager did say that there are lots of quality controls that are put in by independent people. So when they decide that they're going to start to make a road, a portion of their concrete or whatever they're going to be using is sent out to an independent analyst that analyze the concrete. And I'm assuming that once if it comes back, I'm assuming that that's good concrete. Now I know that there's been talk that Europe, they make better roads than we do, but I think that probably it's more of a cost. So if say if Mountain Road's going to cost $240 million, because that's what it's going to cost from 696 to M59. If it's $240 million with the concrete that we use now, maybe it would cost 400, 500 million. I'm not exactly sure, what the cost would be, but it would be substantially more. Now we'd have to ask ourselves as residents of whatever city we live in or the state that we live in, are we willing to pay more so that we get better roads? I mean, I think that's sort of a conversation that should be had, at the state, at the state level, and maybe make some decisions to say, you know what, but it's hard, because there's not enough money for the roads the way they are now.
Okay,
I think Act 51 is the big issue that we really need to look into, and I can explain that if
You
you'd like.
have to decide how long you want the road to last.
Exactly.
Because whatever it costs now, you're going to be paying the same amount or more in 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, I agree, but it's a matter of convincing the public. We can't convince the public to, we had people, the 1 mil increase that we're talking about, to put $4 million more into the roads that actually end up being 12 with a match from the county. We had, there was very few people that came up and spoke on Tuesday night that were in favor of a one-time 1 mil increase, which would end up being for the average homeowner $7 a month. So if we can't get people to jump on board for $7 a month, I don't know what the answer is, trying to convince them that we need to pay double for our roads because they'll last longer. I don't know the answer to that question. It's a tough one. I see Carol back there.
I think it was the last meeting that we had here. There was a gentleman that was sitting on this side of the hall, and he said that it's not so much the concrete, but it's the substrate. I guess that's what it's called. What's put below is not deep enough, is not thick enough, and the state is doing it cheaper because they're keeping the road builders in business. It's kind of, they have allowed you to stay in business forever.
If that's an issue, I would look into that, and if it was to come to light that we are trying to subsidize these road makers for whatever, that is, that's criminal in my
And the other thing is, we would have plenty of money if they'd stop giving our treasury, the Michigan Treasury, to the 1%. To the people that are so-called creating jobs, which they're really not doing.
I agree 100% with you. I think that they should pay, I think corporations and the rich should pay their fair share. I think that we should end the pension, the retirement pension, get rid of that. Why is that? Why is the money? If we need to balance our budget at the state level, why are we balancing it on the backs of retirees? That money should come from corporations, the 1% as Carol is talking about, and I will fight for that in Lansing. I saw a hand over here. Yes. Jim, yeah.
We take and we put this asphalt in these potholes. Lucky if it lasts a week.
Yeah.
I read, I think it was the Wall Street Journal, Murdoch publication, sorry.
Okay.
But Turkey builds a machine, and this machine will go, because potholes are all over the place. They got 3 billion potholes in the United Kingdom. It builds a machine that will cut out around the pothole surgically, and then refill it with a rubber-like asphalt.
Yeah.
And it will last 15 years or more.
I've seen that. There was a Facebook post that came through not too long ago, and you to see the actual machine do that, where it cuts the square and then it just robotically puts in a square the square to fill the hole, and apparently it lasts a lot longer. I don't even know if it's an animated version of it, so I'm not sure that it actually exists.
It does exist.
It does. Okay. I'd be curious to look into see how much something like that costs.
They manufacture it in Turkey. I don't know.
What? Say, I'm sorry.
They say they manufacture it in Turkey.
Okay, I would definitely look into something like that. You know, it would be on a kind of city-by-city basis if they would be willing to invest that money into a machine like that. But from the looks of that Facebook post that shows that animation, it looks really cool and looks like it would be a game changer, honestly. So, question back there? Yep.
When was the last time they raised the fuel tax on the trucks, the 18-wheelers? Was that 94?
I don't know the exact when.
They need to raise that tax because Michigan pays the lowest in the
Yes.
Midwest, and we've got all those trucks coming from Canada.
We had this conversation the other night also, where there's some that argue that we should decrease the weight limits for the trucks. But then there's the counter argument that says, okay, so if you decrease the weight limits on a truck, then you're going to have two trucks doing the same, pulling the same load as you would with two trucks. It's definitely something to look into, and it could, if that would save our roads, if we had, if the businesses had to pay more, then the businesses have to pay more. And you're right, the businesses, like I said, they should be paying. If they are coming through, they should be more of a partner with the municipalities, with the state, and paying for the infrastructure that Obama said you didn't build that. Right? And that's exactly what he was referring to. They need to stop, coming for our tax abatements and start playing a role in making sure that the infrastructure that they depend upon is I would say, not the way it is now, that it's for sure just not in a really bad state. But they need to pay their way in making sure that we have good roads, because they're using them every single day, and they're part of the problem too, because we have these heavy loads and they're damaging the roads too. So.
Could I ask one question?
Yes.
There's a lot of good ideas here that people have.
Yeah.
It's not complicated ideas. Who will look into these ideas? Whose job will it be?
So-
The job of the state of Michigan?
Well, I think it's a mix. It'll be everybody: the state, the county, the municipalities, because they all play a role in fixing their own roads, building their own roads.
But there's got to be somebody who takes charge of the analysis to find out what it's going to cost.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to do an analysis of this and find out what's going to cost.
Well, road commissions too.
How long is it going to last? Where are the trade-offs? A warranty, yeah. Like Nancy said, if they build it last 10 or 15 years, opposed to lasting 5 years, you got to understand the economics of that. So, who will do that?
I agree.
I wonder, that's all.
And I'm sure it has a lot. Yeah, well, and like I said, that they're each different entity, the state, the county, and the municipalities themselves they play a role because they're fixing and building their own roads. But there are state road commissions, there are county road commissions, and they're the ones I would think that should be the ones that are doing the research, putting their experts out there to figure out how do we build better roads in the state of Michigan.
Don't you think it would be logically a state function to do the analysis? They have the greatest research.
Yeah. I agree, but it probably comes down to funding. Are there legislatures, or is the governor, are they willing to put funding out there to do these sort of analysis? Or, as Carol said, are we just trying to make sure that we're keeping these road manufacturers in business?
I can't imagine the analysis could be that expensive to do. I doubt it.
Yeah, no,
The analysis.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just no, you're not. It's just it's a willingness. Right, there are a lot of things that that should be taken care of, that should be getting done, but is there a willingness with the powers that be? So, Gary, do I have any more time for questions? I can take. How am I doing?
Maybe one more.
One more? Yep. Yes.
So, how about a warranty on the road? Did you ever consider anybody bring that up?
I think somebody said something about warranties a couple times, I think, but I think that comes down to the cost factor. If you're requiring a business that manufactures roads to give a warranty, I'm sure it would increase the cost of the roads. So, having this, I'm really glad that I came this evening. I can tell that on the top of everyone's mind are the roads. And so, any other, what I'm gonna do in the future, anything else that I, as far as a lit piece or any other conversations I have with people, I'm gonna scrap it all, and we're gonna have conversations about roads, because it needs to be fixed. I really think it does, so. If there isn't anything else, Gary, I appreciate the time, Norfolk Cove Dems, I appreciate the time. I do have to go pick up my kids, so I gotta leave the meeting early, so I do apologize that I'm not sticking around for the other speakers, but thank you so much, appreciate it.